Hello, I'm Ed. Welcome back to the studio, and it's part 2 of my look at Polaroid today. Now, if you remember, we left it last time. I just loaded up some Polaroid, talked a little bit about how it worked and how it had changed over the years, and I'd gone out to shoot my 8 frames. So let's have a look at what I did shooting those now. So I thought the first thing I would do is take a self-portrait with the close-up lens and see if arm's length is good enough. Can a Polaroid be a selfie? We will find out. If we open up and select the close-up lens, I will get ready to take the picture here. The flash should go off and we have a negative. How long will it take to develop? I'm starting to appear. Polaroid number 1. A selfie shot in Fletcher Moss Park. Quite happy with that result as the first one. So all I need to do now is write my caption. So I've come to Reno to do a fell race tonight, and it seems like a good opportunity to get a couple of countryside pictures. So here we go. So after shooting the first 3 frames of Polaroid, I came back into the studio to do something else and noticed that the film packet actually had some instructions on the inside. Some instructions, so I'm going to tear that open and see what it is that I should have borne in mind. It's not very easy to do. How to make great photos. Keep it cool, store the film in a fridge before you use it. When you're taking the pictures, when it's cold, keep your photos warm in a pocket close to your body while they're developing. If it's a hot day, keep them somewhere cool. It also says the more light the better, but I did find that one of the photos I took yesterday was quite overexposed, and I think that is just that there was too much light on a bright sunny evening for the film to cope with. It says cover up, shield it, don't shake it. Colour photos should be shielded from the light for the first 6 minutes, 1 minute for black and white. So I think one of the things that I probably didn't do right yesterday was I didn't shield it for the first minute from the sun. So that may have affected how well the images came out. I didn't shake anything, so that's good. But there you go. I'm in the studio, so I'm going to borrow Lucy's side from it and just take a picture of these boxes here. Okay, so that's how I shot all 8 of the Polaroids. Polaroid 8, not exactly how I would have liked to have done, but that brings me to an interesting point, and that is finding old manuals for cameras. Now, I went online and I found the manual to this camera, and that meant that I discovered it actually had a flash override button. Now, I was saying in my introduction, oh, you had to shoot with flash, which I thought was true, and I always thought that was true, but it isn't. Unfortunately, in finding the flash override button, I pressed it, not realizing it would work even with this closed, and that meant it spat out the last Polaroid. No flash and nothing to take a picture of because this was closed. But at least I know where it is now, so if I shoot Polaroid again, which I'm sure I will, I'll be able to shoot without flash. The other thing that I was going to test on my last picture, which I didn't actually get around to doing because of that accident, is the darker and brighter setting. Now, when I took the picture of the church in Reno, I realised as it developed that the church was completely blown out, and that's because the film is a 640 ASA film. I don't know whether if I'd set this dial to darker, which bizarrely looks like lighter because it's a silver little arrow, but that silver one is the darker one and the open arrow, which looks darker, is the lighter arrow. But I don't know if I'd gone to a darker setting, whether it wouldn't have been overexposed, or whether it would just have been overexposed but everything was darker, because it says that it's a darken and lighten button rather than an over and under exposure button. So I don't know if that's just simplified language or if it actually doesn't change the exposure. It just changes the amount of chemicals that it uses. Now, I guess that's like pushing or pulling a film in developing, so it should make a difference to the development, but that's something I'll test next time I do Polaroid. But for now, I think I should unload the film cartridge, the empty film cartridge, and leave the camera ready for use next time. So to unload the film, it's the same as loading it. Just push forward that little button there underneath the shutter button, and it releases the bottom of the camera, and then you can see the film cartridge there, and you just literally pull it out like that and close the front. Camera's done. You can see here that the film canister is now empty. All the pictures have been slid off, so into the recycling. So there we are. Thank you so much for your company. It's been really great to have you along. I'll be back hopefully next week with a look at something else in film or maybe digital photography. Haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet. At some future point I will do some colour Polaroids, but I think I'll leave Polaroid for a little while now and look at something else. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, it really helps. And that's it. Have a great week. See you again soon.